Hi, this is Xdinary, and I am finally going to start doing my my full binder tour, which is like of all my binders. I apologize for my voice. I've just caught something. Basically, I could feel it coming on like the past couple days, but it's like yesterday I felt like, oh, there's no way it's gonna get worse. This seems to be where it's kind of plateauing. I was wrong. It got worse today. So I apologize for that. That out of the way, like I said, this is gonna be a tour of all my binders. Basically starting now because I can't fall asleep. So I usually start with this binder, which is for all the miscellaneous JYP groups that I collect for. Of course, Wonder Girls, they never really had any trading cards because that was just not the era that they were really releasing their music with. I did find the tickets that I purchased for seeing them when they did their US tour. I got to see them on their Seattle stop. And they had 2 a.m. with them. But I found that and it's like, you know what? Might as well just add it to this small little collection, which is just a set of postcards. But I'm still happy to have something Wonder Girls to put in a binder. And then we have my 2 p.m. section. They were the next group after Wonder Girls that I got into. And they do actually have some cards for some of the releases, though at this point, they don't have too many releases. All right, I decided to collect 3 members for their comeback must, which was after everyone finished their military duties. And I was hoping I could finish everything in 2024, but I ran into the issue where I cannot find this card. You know, it's just not available from what I can tell. So I wasn't able to do that. Still gonna try my best. I mean, if I see it, I definitely want to grab it. Because with that Ouyang, I am done with the individual members for Must, and I just need to get one oh, sorry, I'm blinking. But yes, 1 unit. So I need his individual card and another unit card, and I am done for what I'm collecting for that release, which is taking forever, but it's just not something I have a lot of priority with, which is probably the big reason why I'm having issues finding cards at this point. But you know, it is what it is. This page mainly started for these little stickers that came with one of their singles. I still need to get the other 3, but we'll see. 2 p.m. is just a collection that I like to take my time with. I'm in no rush whatsoever. Oh yes, and there was a winter pop-up for the JYP Japan store. Pretty much all the groups, everyone but Itzy, had stuff that came out for it. 2 p.m. they had this set, and at the moment, Junkei, Nikun, and Ouyang are the only members that are signed with JYP, at least musically, because yeah, they're basically, I think another member is in like they're more or less under them as an actor instead. But yeah, so if they do like a group release like this, it's gonna just be these 3 members. So I did grab that. Junkei is one of my top favorite members of the group, so I do have some of his miscellaneous cards. And I ended up getting a miscellaneous Nickun while I was trying to get some of his other cards for Must. So this is just a miscellaneous page for any other member. If I come across them, these are larger inclusions. Junkei, and then we are on to the next group, which is Itzy. I used to collect them for a little bit. I've been very off and on with collecting Itzy. Right now, what I've decided is that I'm getting select OT5 sets, which was actually something I only really decided kind of late into 2024. But I have this one card for the first set I plan. These are going to be for the other one, and of course to fill out the 9 pocket page I'm grabbing units. That's from Not Shy. I think It's Me also has units, and that'll be on the first page. And here's an actual completed page. This is actually the OT5 set I started with, because I just love this concept, especially with these scepters. They look like, you know, Sailor Moon scepters. So I just kind of felt like I needed to have them. And I got this set, Ringo, which is from their first Japanese album. And then we have a blank page. This is for gold. I still need to get around to buying the album. There's just been too many releases, but I that's one of the things I need to do in 2025 is actually work on this and hopefully finish it. And with Come I Doubt, they had all these little circle things, and I figured, you know, I have nothing else to do with them, and since I do have a small Itzy collection, I was just gonna keep them. And then next we have Xdinary Heroes. I got into them in 2024, but this is gonna be a very casual collection here. I have all these unit cards. What is that? From Overload. And then I have 2 members that I'm going to be collecting just some select cards for their earlier stuff. I don't have anything for Jun-il yet. Just want to make sure Junhan is the other member, which I do at least have one of his cards. So one of the things I want to do is that if they release an album that I love, and honestly I really do love troubleshooting, I do want to collect not all the cards, but like at least most of them for my top 2, Gun-il and Junhan. So I've at least started on that. This is definitely one of my 2025 goals, is to be done with collecting everything I need to for troubleshooting. That said, I am doing some OT6 collecting, which is for like the mirror cards and these kind of like trading cards. I've actually made kind of decent progress, but again, one of the things in 2025 I need to finish. And there were some larger inclusions. And then we have NEXZ. I kind of went back and forth of what and how I wanted to collect this group, but in the end I've decided, at least for the regular albums, I do want to collect OT7. Only missing Tomoya and Huey for this page for their debut. I'm missing the Sogon for this one, but either way, that's another thing, is that all the Ride the Vibe for both their Korean debut and also their Japanese debut, I definitely gotta have that done by 2025. But honestly, when it came to limited and Nemo, I was collecting top 4, and I have that done at least. Seita, of course, is my favorite member. Then it's Haru, Yu, and Sogon. So I have those 4. And of course, for the Nemo version, you do get a full set of one of each member. So that's what this page is. And then we are on the Japanese Ride the Vibe, Keep Going, or Keep on Moving. Yes, that's their debut single, double A side, hence the 2 titles. I did not take too long to get the OT7 set for the regular version here. And for this, I decided to only do, well, not exactly top 3, because I decided to also collect Gon, but definitely Seita and Haru. So I have them done. I just need to get those 2 Gon cards and I'll be done there. And then we have Nalina, their first Korean comeback, which of course I don't have too much because it wasn't too long ago that they actually released it. So I'm not going to worry too much about these until I get the other 2 done, and then I'll focus on finishing up Nalina here. But basically the same setup as the previous Korean release, because these are also the Nemo cards. And for units, the top 3 here are from their Korean debut, and these bottom 3 are from the Nemo for Nalina, and this is from the limited edition of Nalina. So I'm missing 2 more unit cards for that, but I figured I'll just keep the units together, and with those 2, then that's like a whole page, which is nice. It fits really well. This is a full member set from the JYP Japan store. This was what, their debut showcase cards, I believe. And I got that set. And then we have mostly Pobs. This is actually kind of like more of a merchandise card. But the rest are all Pobs. These top 4 are from the Korean debut, and these bottom 4 are actually from the Japanese debut. And then this page is set up so, like in the previous one, Nalina, that's these 4, and then whatever their next release is will be the next 4. So for every release, I want to get at least 4 Pops for Seita. And the thing is that I love this group, but I'm not sure about collecting OT7 for everything. So what I've decided to do is that if I happen to pull a member that I'm not actually collecting for any of the more limited collections, I am just going to throw them back here as long as they're not dupes. and keep them. Just in case I change my mind and decide that no, I want to collect OT7 for this group. And these are actually IDs. It came with a limited edition of Nalina, where they all had IDs. Of course, the one for Seta I'm using as that center card. I have no idea what to use these for, which is why they're living back here until I can figure something out. So larger inclusions. These are the postcards that came with the original release. I'm just trying to collect whoever I can get. That is going to be for Nalina whenever I get, or maybe not, maybe that was just extra for the Ride the Vibe. It could be. Either way, these came in the limited edition, these kind of unit postcards. Yes, then that is definitely for more cards from his time earlier on. As here's where the Nalina cards are. We got these kind of like Polaroid looking things for the limited edition this time around, and we got a set of postcards. And then we also got this thing, which I've just thrown on the back here because I'm not sure where else to put it, but I wanted to keep it. So that's what that is. And then here in the back, so if you order from the JYP Japanese store, every order you get will be signed basically by them. And yeah, so all these came from past orders I did with the JYP Japan store. So I mean, I've made 6 orders so far, so I have 6 cards. And yes, that brings us to the end of this binder. So let us move on. Okay, and we are now on to the first Twice binder. It is another day. I am no better. In fact, you could probably tell I sound worse, but that's okay. We're just gonna push on through because this has taken long enough as it is. So Mina's my bias, so she's the one that I will collect everything for Twice. And I only have her collected for everything except this OT9 signal set is the first of my select OT9 sets. Oh, okay. Yay, I sound a little better now. Okay. And this was my goal for 2024, was to finish the OT9 signal set, and I have. So I'm very happy about that. Then it's all Mina. And then starting with What is Love is a mix of top 3 and just Mina. It really depends on how many OT9 sets that I'm collecting for that release. And of course, with this upcoming year, my focus will be finishing off What is Love. This is probably the one OT9's page that needs it the most, because I just need Momo for this one and Nyan for this. Yeah, and then I'm done. But I usually, no, I don't. I work on Twice whenever I feel like working on Twice for whatever era. And of course, I ended up just doing a full top 3 page because it worked out that way. Summer Nights, which I haven't been working on as much. If I finish What Is Love, I'll probably start focusing more on Summer Nights after that. Though it does have a complete OT9 set, as you can see. Actually, it has 2. I totally forgot about that. And yeah, for a lot of these POBs, I do like top 3. I forgot about that. All right, then we have Yes or Yes, which is another release where I haven't done too much, just like parts here and there. Year of Yes. I really need to get more Jihyo. I did decide to do one OT9 set, and because there aren't really sets for Year of Yes, it's just gonna be randomly whatever Year of Yes card I happen to get for a member, and they'll go on this page. Well, except for Mina, Chewy, and Jihyo, because they need to be worked in. But it is also the first one where I am doing the complete set for the top 3. Fancy You. And I have to say, even though it's going to be a while before I actually focus on it, I'm very happy with how the Ring Pop collection is coming along. Because this is usually one of the OT9 like collections everybody wants. And it's usually the one that gives everyone the hardest time. Oh, and I do have a complete OT9 set here. And then we have Feel Special, which probably has like the most OT9 sets because I love this release. I really love a lot of their sets, so decided to do a little more than usual for the OT9. And then we have more and more, which I have done very little for, which you can probably tell. And then Eyes Wide Open. Yes. This I've actually done kind of okay with. And then, so last year my focus was on that one OT9 set for Signal, as well as finishing off all of what I needed for Formula of Love. And I finished that, in which you'll see. But now for 2025, I will be focusing on Taste of Love, which I'm actually pretty close with. I just need these 2 for this page. I need 3 for this. And then the 2 last lenticulars, and I'll be done. So basically, What Is Love and Taste of Love are the 2 collections I'll be focusing on for twice. For, of course, the back collection, as I'm still going to try to stay on top of the newer releases. So for Formula of Love, this is a full OT9 collection. Basically, before this release, I had been going back and forth about collecting twice because I was starting to like them. And it was with the release of Formula of Love that I decided that nope, they've won me over enough. I'm gonna collect them. So because of that, I made this a full OT9 collection for all the sets, and I was able to finish collecting all of them last year in 2024. And I'm so happy. And of course, this is the collection that closes out this binder, which I think just is perfect. Yes. Oh, so happy to have that. So now I can say I basically have Formula of Love to, what is it, With Youth done. Because I still need to work on, Strategy. Because that's the newest release. But if everything goes well, I'll have Taste of Love done soonish. Well, sometime this year. And yeah, just ever so slowly filling in all this back collection for twice. Because again, with Formula of Love, that's when I started to collect them in general. And I was collecting them OT9 for a while, so honestly, the only time I'm going to be missing cards is if it's a new release, and I don't have them yet. So with that, let's move over to the next binder. Okay, we're on my second twice binder, and if you may have noticed, they are all kind of color themed for every member color, starting with Nyan. I haven't quite done the collages for all of them, though I did finally move like a Jungyeon's like collage for the front of this for now. But yes, this is everything from between 1 and 2 to latest release. Like I said, I have everything. So that's between 1 and 2. Then we have Ready to Be, and I did, as you probably saw with between 1 and 2, and you're seeing here, I did move in the Target exclusive cards whenever I needed to like fill a page to just make like the number of OT9 sets work. But they're not there for all of them. But there's no way I was not going to collect this as an OT9 set. And Ready to Be just didn't have as many sets as like other twice releases, so it was a bit of an odd one. And we have With Youth, where basically I collected all of top 3, except for the Nemos. Nemo was the only member I collected the Nemo for, or the Nemo cards for, because they were a challenge to collect. Especially this one. This was so pricey. I think I got really lucky and actually found this one for a decent price. And this one was okay price-wise, but the Crown card, oof. And of course, like most people who are twice collectors and do the OT9 sets, the Bear set was a definite. And then I also got the Digipack set, because I thought everyone looked great in it. And these are the Nemo cards. And of course, for some reason, they decided that Mina was going to be sideways. But Jungyeon is also sideways on this one. Just because. Oh no, this is the other one where they decided Mina got to be sideways as well. For some reason, that was a thing for these cards. And then we have the pre-order. And we are on strategy, which, as you can see, it's still a work in progress, which is to be expected. It just released last month. But yes, I'm not going to be collecting all of... Yeah. collecting most of top 3. And again, Mina is a no-brainer for collecting for all of it. And again, she's the only one I'm going to be collecting the Nemo for. This came in the limited like journal edition thing. So I need her little Polaroid, and this I'm going to fill in with her Target version. And this is a set I decided, or one of the sets I decided to collect OT9 for. And of course I had to do the object one. And doing the Digipack cards, and I had so very little luck. All I pulled was Nyan and Momo. But, you know, at least I have those two. That's definitely something I had to work on. And I did get the Nemos, so I do have those OT9 sets, which they did much better with until this one where all of a sudden we have people with horizontal cards. And the Pobs. But yeah, already doing much better with finishing up strategy compared to where I was with youth in the same amount of time. All right, so this is my special Mina section. This came from the file version of Formula of Love. This is her Target card for with youth. These are just random extras. I know this is the Pop from Strategy that I got before, but they're all, I believe they're all Korean extras. And these are like all her Japanese cards. Yeah, this is from BDZ. And these look like hashtag twice. This is from Hare Hare, the single. It was a clear card. And these two are from Dive, their latest Japanese album. And then I actually thought this was a card, like a photo card, but it was a postcard. So that's there. I do kind of hope that I could get some more postcards of Mina to fill that out. But yes, I actually have a couple of monograph sets. I got like extremely lucky and found 2 unopened monograph books for twice that were completely, or for at a secondhand store that were being sold for really cheap. So of course I got them. So this was of course Signal and Fancy You. I don't think I'll ever get as lucky. And these are the Barnes & Noble cards for strategy. I do want to collect OT9 for these. And I have it back here because they are, you know, more or less kind of like POBs in a way, because they are US exclusives or Barnes & Noble exclusives. So that's where I'm keeping that collection. And then we have random group cards. And these I had nowhere else to put them, so I just threw them here. And of course, like where they change which way they go, and then they changed it back. And no, I can't just switch them around because then all this is wrong. So yes, that is a problem I have. And I have a handful of Japanese group cards, which is what this page is. And then we have unit cards. Most of it is just kind of random units. And then we have, oh, an extra page. Oh, because I only had one slot there. So this is for more units as I get them. Even though I don't really collect units, but if I get them and I don't have them already, I'll hold on to them. And these are the ready to be unit cards. And then this is my soloist section. So I have, between Nion's 2 releases, I have 9 cards of hers for them. For Jihyo, I collected an entire 9-pocket page for her. And I keep meaning to collect more for Misamo. And I need to, but I have these 2 random group cards, so that's what I have for Misamo for now. It will change. That is the plan. And of course, Chewy, like Jihyo, because, you know, she's part of my top 3. I got a 9-pocket page for her. And then we have this, which is my little cheat page, because I didn't know what to do with the lenticulars for Chewy, and I didn't quite want to get rid of them, so I decided to keep them. And I still had this Jihyo card, and I do rather like this Jihyo card, so I decided I would just create a little cheat page, because they are, you know, top 3. They deserve it. So that is all the photo cards. I do have one last binder for twice, and that is going to be the large inclusion binder, which I will need to update eventually for a 3-inch, but for now, this is it. It's kind of a mess. One day I may fix it up. I don't know. We will see. Oh, I guess for more sticker sheets that I don't have. Yes, that was probably my thinking. And I don't know why, but I've decided to make it a thing where I do want to collect all of the Year of Yes little stickers. We will see how well I go with that, but at least I have 4 of them so far. And just, for the most part, I just have a lot of these just randomly. Except for Mina. I definitely searched out all the Mina I could. And then for this, I think I have, yes, I have the whole OT9 for that. And I know I have all the postcards. I don't have all the stickers, but it's like one sticker that I'm missing, so, which is Chaeyoung's. And then we have these postcards. And this is from the Ready to Be record that came in there. And that is everyone, right? Or am I? Yes, it is. I just made it so all the horizontal are actually horizontal. That's what's throwing me off. And then for these Ready to Be cards and stickers, I did come up with a way that I wanted to present them. I'm missing the Nyan, but I plan on getting Nyan's card, and then this will actually be done. But you can see, like, start seeing the plan there. I have those done, and that's what I plan on doing with all of these, though. I'm just missing, like, stickers and the cards and the card extras, because, like, this is actually 2 cards I put together because I had that many extra. And that's how I fill in those spots, so gotta figure out how to do that. All right, and then Walmart for with youth, they had these I guess, photos that came as their exclusive item with the album. And I collected everyone but Momo and Mina. And I want them, but I don't want to pay the price that people are asking for them, because it's kind of ridiculous. So I'm just gonna hold on to what I have for now. And then strategy, again, I did a little bit more, or a little better with my pulls for these and the strategy albums I got. So, but I do plan on getting more digipacks. And of course, like with the photo, the Photocard albums, I do have a section just for the larger inclusions for the solos. So we have Nyan, Jihyo, and I just can never get those to be where I want them to. And then Chewy. And Mina for Nisimo. I need to do more, but right now this is just where it's gonna live as is. And with that, twice is now done. And I'll probably wait till tomorrow. Well, my tomorrow. You don't have to wait for Stray Kids. All right, back to start with Stray Kids. Well, technically it is another day. I tried sleeping, not working, so we're just gonna keep going through this. At least right now, my voice sounds a lot better than it was. So yeah, Stray Kids. And for everything, basically up to NEXZ, I'm only collecting my top 4. So of course, Sungmin, he is my favorite. And Felix, he has become pretty much my bias wrecker in the past year or so. But then Chan and Lino. So those are the 4 that I'm collecting everything for up to NEXZ. And my goal was to finish this page, which I did, because this Felix was the last thing I needed. That said, I'm not gonna rush with I Am Who or I Am You, because those are hard cards. Oh, and also, like my Twice collection, I do have some full member collections that I will be doing, and it's easy enough to get these, since there was one available in each album, unlike these cards where there's like three different sets, but you only get one from the 3 sets for each album, which makes these cards so hard to get. Like the clear ones, these are also available 1 per album, so they're not too hard to get either. But I decided this is going to be my OT8 collection. There's going to be a lot of blank pages. There just is. Oh, that's right, because I Am You doesn't have a lot. This is the OTA collection. Basically because I already pulled the Hyunjin, and then I happened to pull the Felix, and it's like, okay, that kind of solves that. Then we get to a little bit better with Miro. So Miro is going to be the collection I'm going to be focusing on for 2025. And to complete that, I mean, I only need 2 cards and this page is done. Same with here, 2 cards. And it should not be difficult for me to get, like, this set. And I do already have a complete OT8 from Miro. So yes, that is my 2025 goal. And if I finish with it really quickly, which I don't see myself doing, but if I don't, then I'll probably just move here to Yellowwood, which definitely needs a little bit more focus. So I'm really close to finishing this OT8 set. So I at least have that going for me. Levanter, also not as much work done with it so far. And then we start getting into the really sad pages again. For the Go Live is not so bad. This is the OT8 set. A lot of the OT8 sets I decided on because I looked at what I had, because originally I was going to collect OT8 completely, but that just seemed like too much. So whichever set that I had the most of was basically what I decided to be my OT8 set. So that's why that ended up there. Yeah, so like I said, Go Live. Is okay. In Life is really sad. Really, really sad. Thankfully, it is followed by NEXZ, where I am done if you don't count the jewel cases. The jewel cases I do want to start picking up, but because I didn't bother with the jewel cases when I first started with all this. I figured that was just something I was gonna skip. But when they started releasing like the member version stuff and Target with like the accordion stuff, you know, in the digipacks before then, you know, I got all of those, so it's like, well then I might as well go back and get all the jewel cases. And I think NMIXX was more of a, I'm not sure if they called it the file version or it was more of a digipack than a jewel case, but either way, I do need to go back and collect for those, but I'm not gonna be in a rush there. But yeah, when I started collecting, it was Christmas Evil was the first comeback Stray Kids release that I was a fan. I actually pre-ordered a couple copies, and at that time, NiziU was overall really easy to collect for, which is why I have all of NiziU. And of course, starting from there, I basically have everything. Christmas Evil was just a little special release, so thankfully there wasn't much to collect, and since I did pre-order, I got the pre-order set here. And then of course, most exciting is Xdinary here, which was the first release that got like simultaneously released in US stores like Target. That was like the first one. So that seemed like a really big deal, and I was so happy. And I found I got really lucky because I pulled the Hyunjin because everybody wanted that card, and I can't blame them. But yes, I have all of Xdinary. And of course the units, which they made super easy for you to collect in the States. And then we get to NMIXX. And this I set up to try to match the hands the best I could. And And of course, just because it's a 9-pocket page trying to fit 8 people, it just was never ever going to truly work. So this is the best I feel like I could make of it with those cards. And then we go to 5-star, where they start. Is it this set that they start with the hand? Yeah, they start going back to hands. Again, it's supposed to, you're supposed to be able to make something if you like put them together in a certain way. It doesn't work with 9-pocket pages. That seems to be a theme with Stray Kids. You know, they do something where if you put the cards a certain way, it can make something, but it never works with the 9-pocket format. But yes, this is also where I started getting the digipacks. Oh, and then of course we're here with Rockstar. And what all these are they unit? I think they're unit. Yes, they're like these units because you got so many of them. If you're buying multiple albums, so I used them. And since there was only 4 in the entire set, so I'm glad they've gone ahead and, you know, boosted the unit set up to like 8 cards instead of 4. But yeah, that was fun. And of course, this is where they started doing Nemo cards. And that is as far as I go there with this first binder. And I actually set myself up. Be able to just move on to the next. Yay! Okay, now we start with 8, which as you can see, I need to work on. But I feel good because I'm missing 1. It will not take me long to get this card. It will not take me long to get this card, and that's 2 sets done right there. I do need to focus and get the rest of the limited edition cards, which should not be that hard either. I do have all the accordion sets completed. I did make sure to complete the letter cards, and then it's really the random Nemo cards that I gotta work on. Though I have to say, I'm doing much better with this set than I thought I was. This one might be a little bit of a struggle, but that's fine. That's the OT8 set for the Nemo and the other one. Oh yeah, and I'm still missing this group card. It will not be difficult for me to grab. I just need to decide to get it, basically. And then of course we move to current era, hop. So most of these are pulls. Pulls, or I managed to trade for them. So I just need 2 more and I'm done there. I do want to buy more albums of this limited version. So hopefully that'll get me some more. Of course, I do need to work on the accordion version. I did really good for pulls for this version here. The black and white cards, the Nemo. But yeah, gonna focus on 8 before I move to Hop, but overall these are going to be my main focus for the next couple months at least. Because, you know, Stray Kids have announced that they are going to be dropping 2 albums this year, and I want to make sure that I'm not falling horribly behind by the next time their next album comes out. And of course, one of the reasons I want to get more limited edition albums is to try to get the last set that I haven't gotten yet for these cards, the last set of 4, because I pulled 3 of the 4 of those. And then I need units, which I'm not too worried about, especially since most of what I'm missing are the limited edition units, and that won't be too hard. Okay, and then we move on to Japanese cards. So this is from the Super Bowl, Social Pass / Super Bowl single. I got an OT8 set, and I got an OT8 set on the way for Giant. So, yay. And I got this from, of course, the Japanese JYP shop. Was able to snag that, and this is probably for that OT8 set I just talked about for Giant. So this is basically my OT8 Japanese set section. And then we have an OT8 pop section, or exclusive cards, since these are all the Target exclusives for Rockstar. This is all the Target exclusives for 8. Still need these last 2. Again, that's just me deciding whenever I want to do that. Especially with Sungmin, he's not too difficult to get. When I got the letter versions for 8, I got them from Aladdin, and they had pops, so I mean, I was thinking that I would only keep top 5, but I couldn't. I couldn't let go of the rest, so I just kept them all. And I did really good with pulls for the Target versions as well as trades. I actually found some, so I just need this Chan, which I'll probably end up just purchasing. Yeah, and then I'll be done. Oh yeah, and for some reason I have extra pages, but that's fine. I'll find a use for them. All right, so while I didn't collect like the jewel case and the file cases and all that for OT8, I did do that. I did collect them for Sungmin at least. So that's what all these are. So these will all be added to pages, and these will remain as extras. This is from various season screenings. I'll probably be adding to it with this year's, but I'm in absolutely no rush because, again, this is just my extra cards for my favorites. And these are all actual pops. Well, these are exclusives too. Or, no, these 3 are exclusives. I believe these are the Target exclusives, and I think this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. But yeah, any exclusive or pop that I get for a release, they have these pages, and I just collect them as I go. Right, this is from the fan club version of Giant. I was able to get an unsealed version, and this was my pull. So this page is basically going to be for Japanese cards that come with the CDs, but I only have one of them. This is for various Japanese cards, more like tour and merch kind of thing. And then I got some Daikon cards for him. And this is the old style Japanese cards that came with the CDs. I did get a few for him. I need to get more, but I'm not too worried about that. Like I said, Felix is my bias wrecker, so I'm slowly trying to like collect some extra cards for him too. Of course, this is one of his Maxidents. Is it Secret File? I can't remember the name of it, but that will probably go to that collection eventually. And then I do have this little Chan and Lino. Basically, I got these two cards and I just could not let them go, especially not this Lino. So I decided I'll just make a little page of extra cards for them, which is what this is. So I just need to find like 2 more cards to kind of fill in the sides, and that'll be perfect. And then we have just random units. I mean, I basically keep whatever I pull as long as it's not a dupe. So that is where they live. And group cards, they don't have a lot of them, but the ones that I do, they live on this page. These are pulls, and I just didn't want to let them go, so they live back here. And like I said, I decided against collecting OT8 in full for everything, but I kind of go back and forth about that. So what I've decided to do is, going forward, if I pull a member, as long as it's not a dupe, it's being kept. So if it's one of the 4 members that I'm not actively collecting for a past era, they come back here. And I guess if I collect enough of them that I could easily make an OT8 set out of, I will do that. It also helps that if I get any of like the jewel case cards like I do here for IN, they could just chill back here until I'm ready to actually put in the page for that OT8 set. That will happen someday, but it, again, not a priority. And that is all my photo cards for Stray Kids. I have a feeling that by the end of the year, I will have to upgrade this into a 3-inch binder, which is what I'm trying to like gradually do with all my binders, is moving them up to 3-inch. Now that we've done photo cards, the final binder, which is going to be larger inclusions. So I happened to get like a full set of postcards from Mixtape, and of course, for me, if I get a postcard that's horizontal, I want to store it horizontally. So these don't actually, you know, match the errors below, but that is because they are horizontal, so I want them in these top slots. I do need to collect more of these, and I think that would help make things look a little bit better, at least in my mind. Let's see. These are some random. Oh, I think I threw this here because I know where else to put it. Okay, that makes sense. I'm trying to remember what Past Me was thinking. I don't know why Past Me thought it would be okay for me to just throw it in the middle of these things. They always move. But yeah, so far for IMU, I've just pulled Chan and Felix there. I do love how these things fit these 3 pocket pages so well. Oh yes, and these US exclusive postcards are, I guess, North America exclusive. They only fit 2 pocket pages. It's kind of annoying. Oh, and I did end up collecting all of these Maxident sticker things. And I'm not sure if I'd want to collect more. I think I'd at least want to get 1 more to fill the thing, but that's kind of where that would end. And then we have these little mini posters. I am still missing members just because I have not bothered with collecting larger inclusions for them for a while. So I do kind of want to change that. And I also got to figure out, you know, how to put these in here more neatly, you know. But thankfully they kind of stopped with these with 5-star. Oh, and I got this randomly. It's like a clear poster of Sungmin for the sound. So, and I actually pulled this from Rockstars, so that actually ended up being pretty good. And these were in that fan club version of Giant, since it was Sungmin's version, so I got these double-sided things. I'm not sure what you would call them. And yeah, I got this as a freebie, which is why it's randomly on its own, but I did actually get a jewel case that had this set. So I will probably be getting more jewel cases for, what was this? Ordinary? Yeah, for Ordinary, and I'm bound to like pull the other sets, and that'll complete that. And that is all I have for larger inclusions, which is all I have for Stray Kids. So let's see if I can get some sleep, or if I will be back to move us on to the next segment shortly. Okay, and we are now moving on to NiziU. It is a new day. As you can probably hear, I am feeling better. So hopefully we can get through this. I just have like random spurts of coughing, so let's hope I can somehow avoid that. But either way, NiziU, I don't think I really had too much in the way of actual hard concrete goals for them. Though coming into 2025, one thing I have decided to do is that I want to complete my OT9 sets here for Step and a Step, which is their debut. I'm not missing many of these, and I have all the group cards, so that's good, because some of those can be like hard to find, but I think I really can go ahead and just knock this out, and it'll be so nice to be able to, you know, open this up and see, you know, 3 pages completely full. Other than that, still gonna go through, and not only that, but it'll actually give me complete pages. I don't have that yet for any of the OT9 sets for these types of cards. So I would like to start that. Everything else, you know, if I have the money and I find them, I'll get them. It would be nice to finish this page. I'm only missing 2, but we'll see. We will see. But overall, I'm pretty happy with my progress here, because it is a lot of cards. I mean, for the longest time, I was just collecting Nina completely, and with some Rima cards, and I changed that up. and decided to do OT9. So yes, I'm sure if I went back to like my last year's first kind of flip through of everything, it will be like night and day, because I know I've gotten quite a bit since then. So we have Blue Moon here. And then we have Paradise. Paradise did not have group cards, so I probably need to make nicer fillers for them, because I don't know what else to put in the 10th pockets, because it's only OT9. And I still need to find replacement 10 pocket pages, since it doesn't look like these really nice 10 pocket pages. They were released by BCW, which releases a lot of card collection pages of different like pocket sizes. I can't see them listed on their like official homepage, which is making me think that they're not making them anymore. And it breaks my heart, because I just discovered them soon before that, and they are so nice. So I'm definitely in search of something for a replacement. I did try this Amazon Basics brand, but they're horrible. As you may see, the pockets are not the same size. So on this side, it fits fine. On this side, the tops of them, they don't fit. But they are PVC free, which is why I'm using them now. Because I wasn't sure if the old Staples pages were PVC free, but I know these are. There is another brand of 10 pocket pages. Again, it's more like for business cards, like these Amazon Basics are. But I do want to get some, and even if they're not as nice as these, if they can at least, you know, have standard pockets to fit this stuff, it'll work. And then I really wish Coconut was the release where they just completely flipped over to these kinds of cards. I did complete all of Coconut for 2024. That was kind of what ended up being a goal of mine for NiziU. So very happy with that. Then we have Rise Up, which is their latest release until next month. Making slow progress here, but it is coming along. At least some of these are pretty close to being done. I'm not sure if I want to focus on that. I think I want to focus on the earlier stuff, just so I can get it out of the way and just try my best for the latest releases. And then we have their Korean release, which so far they only have one. I'm really hoping when they said overseas activities, part that's going to be another Korean release. Because seriously, this was such a good single from them. Heartrest is still one of my favorite tracks from them. I need more. And then we move on, and these are for JYP Japan. For basically all the groups, they will release like full sets of cards for their groups. How it's set up tends to be based on the size of the group. For Twice and NiziU, though, they're just basic 9-member collections, and I'm trying to collect them all for NiziU. So this is basically going to be attached to every single release, plus any special, like this is a pop-up set, so if they have any kind of special pop-up, they'll have a set as well. they have an anniversary set that I got for their 3rd anniversary. I'm not 100% sure what all of them are, but I do want all of them eventually. And these are from, yeah, basically every time they have a concert, they release 2 of these sets. So you got 2 for Light It Up, and here we have 2 for Burn It Up. And I love the set. I didn't realize this existed until I stumbled upon a listing for it. It's like, hey, that looks like this is one of these sets, but I have no idea what it's for. And apparently it was for a pop-up, a summer pop-up. And this is the 3rd debut. And of course, now that I know I can order through buy from JYP Shop Japan through Buy, that's what I'm trying to get out. I am trying to just buy them as they come out. In fact, for their latest concert, they did release 2 sets. They are going to be in my next Buy haul, which will be coming in sometime this month. And I do have the Rise Up set, and this is from their pop-up for the end of the year. That was their theme for that one. And then we go into the Season's Greetings, where I do collect the OT9 sets, because usually there's at least one. Some years have 2, like this is a year that has 2 sets. And this year also had 2 sets for the Story of 9 cards. And this is the 2024 Season's Greetings set. I haven't seen anyone selling all 9 cards as a set for 2025, but people are starting to sell them, so I may just pick them up individually or in smaller sets and try to cobble it all together. But I will start getting those soon. And this is my pop section, because of course when they had their Korean release, I was definitely going to pre-order and get pops. I ordered from Aladdin, so this is where this whole set is from. And I definitely made sure to get all 9. And these, I don't think they're all from HMV, but they're from the various stores over in Japan, where a lot of their early releases they got as a pop clear cards. I was only collecting top 2, and Riku and Rio kind of more or less tie for 3rd. And I just decided I'll get Riku, and then for the next I'll get Rio, but I may change what I'm doing with that. I haven't decided if I want to actually branch those out into OT9 sets. And then for Rise Up, there are, I think these are 3 or 4 pop sets, depending on the different stores. And I'm not gonna like only get 1 pop set. I'm just gonna try to get like 1 pop for each member. And I'm not gonna worry too much about what set they're on. I have 4 members so far. I've been mainly getting them as part of like what I've been getting their mini album cards. That's what Rise Up was. And this is a miscellaneous pop, even though technically this is not miscellaneous. I just didn't know where to put it because group cards don't fit on the 9 pocket page. Because Coconut, of course, had a group card. But yes, so miscellaneous pops. I do want to get more of Nina's and, you know, maybe give her her own page. I would like to do that this year, but we'll see. And then we have larger inclusions, which is just random stuff I've picked up and I've kept. So I don't think I really have anything full member. Oh, and for their Korean release, they had 4 of these card frames. So I just kind of keep them back here. It's a miscellaneous. And then the last section, so they have, you have like the regular releases and they all come with cards, and then you have the fan club member, which is known as the With You versions, and they come with cards. So I'm not collecting the With You versions, but if I end up getting them because they were part of a set with cards that I needed to get, I'm just gonna hang on to them. So that is what this is back here. And I'm not sure what this card is exactly. It looks like it came from the Light It Up concert, but yeah, I have it. I'm hanging on to it because I love NiziU. And I have a feeling I'm probably gonna have to expand into another binder in the coming year if I keep progressing as I have, especially with the JYP shop sets. But we shall see. That is that done. And now on to the next and the final JYP group that has their own binders, because their collection is too big to fit in the Miscellaneous JYP binder. And that, of course, is NMIXX. As you can see, Soyeon, she is my bias, and I do fully collect her for the album cards. So pretty much good for everything. If you're wondering what happened with this, I made a mistake for one of my listings. For some reason, I still had this NiziU up because I had like an extra set and I was selling off the cards. And I sold it, but for some reason, I must have relisted it or something. And someone bought it again. And I felt bad. I didn't want to cancel it, so I figured, you know what, I'll just send them the one I have and I'll rebuy it, because NiziU, she's not an expensive member. So I do have this already rebought. It will be coming in that buy haul that I mentioned. So I do have that. This is actually done. That is just a temporary thing because I made a mistake. But yes, this is all Nemo cards, because when they first did Nemos, it was all member exclusive, and all the cards in each member versions were all of the single member, and there were so many cards, and I really felt like with the 6 members, I really thought this was like the best way to display them all for me. And I really like it, really enjoy it. And then the current era that I'm working on, I do plan on hopefully finishing it soon, especially since I'm missing 1 limited card and 2, and the 2 regular editions for at least Soyeon's solo cards, because I have both Nemos. I am collecting the Target cards. I think I've purchased them all, the NiziU and the Kyujin. I want to say I've already got both of them purchased. I know I definitely have one of them purchased and should be on the way. So I can finally at least finish up this page. Since I needed another 6-member set, and I figured why not go for the Target exclusive cards, especially since I had pretty good luck with my own pulls this time around. And then we have all the units that I need to work for. For some reason, this unit set does not want to come home at all for me. Not that I've got too much of them, but still. Doing a little better on this page, but that's partly because I use like the Nemo group stuff to fill it out. And this is just, yeah, this concept. But I do plan on finishing up Stick Out soon, because at this point, NMIXX, they are up for a comeback in the near future. All right, and for Soyeon, I have decided to collect pops for her. And I'm not collecting everything. There's no way I do. So it is going to be a limited amount of pops. I've collected everything that I wanted to collect for Admare, which is 18 cards. So these 2 pages, they are done. I don't have to get anything more from that era. And that was one of my big goals from last year. Then for Antwerp, I'm doing 3 pages worth, which gets us up to 27 cards. I don't think I'm gonna make it a goal this year to finish off, but I definitely want to at least get 1 page full. There's just so much else, like goal-wise, that I need to do. So if anything, at least get to the 2nd page for Antwerp for her. And then we move on to Expergo. And with Expergo, that's when I start moving up to 5 pages worth. So from Expergo on, it's going to be 45 cards, which sounds like a lot, but as you can see, for some of these, I'm actually doing pretty well already, and I feel like I could probably finish without too much issue, because NMIXX has a ridiculous amount of pops in general. And all this is like pages I've already set up. All right, yeah. Basically, I haven't really done much with Break except get that one, and I definitely have nothing for Stick Out. That's like a future problem. I just want to get those earlier eras done and hopefully catch up to the later ones. We'll see how that goes. And then this last page is just miscellaneous, because this is one of her light stick cards. So if I get any other merch cards for her, they will go back here. And then I do have pops for other members. Lily was the original bias, but Soyeon quickly overtook. But Lily's still second. And I want to get like three cards per release. So I have her taken care of until a Midsummer's NMIXX's Dream. And then Bay is what pretty much rounds out my top 3 for the group. And I do want to do the same with Lily, though. When I first started collecting Kyujin, or collecting NMIXX, Kyujin was the 3rd. So I don't really have the pops. That is one thing I want to do. I do want to finish these for Bay, you know, get these 4. So at least get her caught up to where I am with Lily, if nothing else. And speaking of Kyujin, yeah, so I have things for Admare and Antwerp, and then I have this whole Expergo page for not just her, but Haewon and NiziU. I really kind of went all in for that. That said, I do want to go back to a Midsummer NMIXX Dream and get 3 cards just to finish up this page for Kyujin, if nothing else. And then we have my cheat pages. Because I was collecting a lot more Lollipops before, and this is just like stuff I could not get rid of because I love them so much. And it's very hard for me to let go of Lily stuff. And of course, not all of these are pops. Some of these are actually album cards that I just really loved and I did not want to let go of. And of course, since I filled that page, I have another page just in case. And this is my Bay cheat page. And I do have some OT 6. I'm moving from like the larger groups to like NMIXX being one of my smaller ones. But yes, like I said, for a Midsummer NMIXX Dream, I kind of went, well, yeah, because I made sure to actually got these from NMIXX. First time and only time so far I've ordered from NMIXX. I should probably do that again at some point. It's just having the money for it. I had the money to do it for NMIXX at this time, so I did. No, I have Aladdin Pops, which I want to say are these bottom ones. What are these top ones? I cannot remember. But yes, either way, very happy with that page. And then back here is a unit page. I don't have too much. And then we have kind of like merch sets. Let's see. Yes, this is from their first season's greetings. So it still has Ginny in it. And then from their first photo book. And then this is from the second photo book. And then this is just miscellaneous. I do have a Lily light stick card. And these are my pulls since I got the LA photo book still sealed. And that's why I pulled from there. So they fall back here. So I'm very happy with where I'm at with NMIXX. Really just need to focus on Stick Out and get that done. I don't want to still be working on it whenever their next comeback comes out. And they do have their own larger inclusion binder because they have quite a few larger inclusions. Did a lot of postcards. And I still plan on eventually getting the Bay postcard for Antwerp, which is why that is blank. If I remember right, these postcards from A Midsummer NMIXX Dream, they came in, what is it, the letter versions, I think? And I just love them, so I definitely had to put them in a binder and show them off. And of course, with everything, I like to put the horizontal cards in the horizontal pocket, the vertical in the vertical pockets, even if they don't exactly match up for era. All right, and then we do, I'm trying to remember if I got everything for break. I think I'm missing one card just because I couldn't find it. Yes, I'm missing this Lily. But outside of that, I have everything. Stick Out, still working on. I just didn't get many albums, so I'm probably gonna have to buy most of these secondhand. And I didn't collect all of these stickers because this is for the limited edition for Break, which of course also contained the little helper plush thing, which they kind of pricey. Oops, sorry. So I wasn't gonna hunt down all of these, but I made sure to get Soyun's and Bae, and I pulled Kyujin's, so I have hers as well. Let's see. This came from Midsummer NMIXX's. Yeah, NMIXX's Dream. These are from the Paris photo book. Same with these. These are actually clear, hence the white background, so you can actually see them. These things never stay put. I don't know what to do with them. I did get a signed album for Break, and I got Jiwoo's signature. I just didn't get around to getting it for their latest. I'm gonna try to make sure I have the money to buy another signed album for whatever their next comeback is. And again, more or less a lot of these bookmark things, I have to figure out something else, or if there's a better way to store them, or if there's maybe some pages I can buy that fit those better. And then for their first season's greetings, they had a little page of these little round things that I popped out and stored. And this is the sticker set from it. And the sticker sets from Pick LA and Pick Paris. And this is just random stuff I have in the back for now. I had plans for it. I don't know what those plans are anymore, or if I'm going to stick with them. But they're still kind of hanging out there. And with that finishes up NMIXX. So let us move on to the next binders. All right, and moving on to TXT. One of these days, I will get, it's the clear card that goes with Eternity that I'm missing for him. One of these days I'll get it. I'm just not in any rush. But yes, I only fully collect Taehyun for album cards. I used to collect top 3, but I don't know, it just felt like a little too much, especially since one of my top 3 members is Subin, who was my original bias, but over time, Taehyun took that slot, so I decided I'll just do myself a favor, collect one member, and then I won't feel so like overwhelmed. So yes, I'm so grateful to have all of Tomorrow done. Just recently finished that. I have really done almost nothing for Sanctuary, as you can tell. Well, except I did get all the exclusive cards. I want to say this is the Walmart. I know this is the Target, and this is the Barnes & Noble. I get the Walmart and the Barnes & Noble mixed up all the time. But yes, I did get all 3 of those. And I did pull this one. I'm so happy. This one I actually traded for. but I'm glad to have that. Yeah, definitely going to make sure I pick up everything. I gotta verify everything that got released for Sanctuary, just to make sure that I've got everything. But at least for his regular album cards, I want to get those out of the way as soon as possible. And yes, I need to hunt down whatever his New Season's Greetings card is. And that's what this whole page is. It's just, well, one of them is from his deco kit, or not from his deco kit, TXT's deco kit. Because the random card for the Season's Greetings is ridiculously expensive, so I went with the deco kit for that year. And over here we have a variety of Japanese cards. And this is gonna be like a merch and pub page, or just basically other random cards. I only have this one. This, though, is the Cinnamon Toast Crunch card. And that is going to be one of my actual goals for 2025, is to get some cards for this page. It's not going to remain this one lonely card. I'm going to get some pop, some lucky draws, something to put on this page. It doesn't have to fill up the whole page, but it needs to be more. It needs to grow. That's going to be my main focus for TXT. Outside of, you know, trying to keep up with their releases. And like I said, I collected top 3. Subin, Taehyun, and Hyunkai are my top 3. I got the deco kit for all of them, and I decided not to get rid of all the cards, so I still kept this page worth of cards for them. And then I do have some OT5 sets. Pretty much started when they started doing the Star Seeker cards, because they were super easy to collect, so I was like, okay, I'll do OT5 of those at least. So I did that. I think it was just really easy for me to collect these. I want to say they were the Target cards. I can't remember. Or no. Maybe that's when they started doing member version releases. Either way, I collected all 5. That was my 5 set. This Hyunkai I should have on the way. I need to still get this Yeonjun. So that's actually going to be another goal, is to finally get this. So these are, this page, set of pages is complete. And I do this because if I do a 5 pattern with 9 pocket pages, you know, this would take up 3 pages, but if I put them like this, then it only takes up 2. So this is more for saving room in my binder, which I don't need so much with how thin it is, but I expect to be following TXT for quite some time, so I know it's going to grow to a point where I am actually going to have to update this eventually one day to 3-inch. Okay, and for Sanctuary, I got the like little merch version that has the wing keychain, and that had a set of 5, so it's like, okay, then that makes it easy for a set of 5 cards that I'll collect. So that is that, and the rest of this is for future comebacks, which hopefully will be for a while, because, well, it probably will be, because this is the month the boys finally get to have a nice, decent break. I wish them the best, that they, you know, get to visit with family, get to just chill for a while, you know, work on themselves, don't worry about anything else. The fans are going to be waiting for them. And I hope they realize that. And when they start doing Target exclusive cards, they did these group cards. So I have both of those. Group cards in a decent size. Then they went for a ridiculous size, which I do have, and we'll see those. And then we have random units. More random units. And then just some random pops that I have that I just didn't feel like getting rid of. Oh, that's right. Maybe one day. Well, I'll first have to finish with Taehyun and get his version of this card. But maybe one day I'll get the Eternity cards for Subin and Hyunkai. But yeah, since I collected them as top 3 and pretty decently thoroughly, they fill out one of these pages pretty well with their cards. I just need the one for Hyunkai, but again, I'm not going to worry about that. I like TXT being a very chill collection. Since I wasn't collecting Yeonjun and Beomgyu so much, they each only get like 1 line. And now we're on to the ridiculous Target cards. These are Taehyun's when they were doing the oversized, somewhat transparent cards, and then the group cards, and then everyone else, because it's an 8 pocket, so I put Taehyun on one page, the other 4 members here, and that's how I got that to work. And that is Photocards. And I'm considering those last 2 pages actually as photo cards. I know I don't have to, but I do. I do have a second binder because I did split up the larger inclusions and their photo cards pretty early on. Because I was pretty thorough with trying to get their larger inclusions. So I have all of that. I have all their little booklets. And head dupes, it fits it out. I have nothing else to put in there to make it work. And Blue Hour, I think I'm just gonna keep them as is for these large postcard things. And the mini posters. So many large inclusions that were quite the pain to collect. In fact, I think soon, yeah, I kind of gave up collecting, though I really do need to get this one because it's Taehyun. And yeah, for the most part, just because it's hard to like find people who collect the larger inclusions, so it's like I might as well just keep them. I really do want to get at least Taehyun's of those, and then we have some deco kit stuff. But yeah, for the bear stuff, I don't think it was the deco kit. I think it was the, I can't remember, but one of them, they had them, the photo cards were in bear suits, and they are so expensive. I just kind of gave up. then we have more decently sized postcards, which now looking at it, I definitely need to work on at some point. Again, not a high priority at the moment. Yay. Stickers. Oh, that's right. For a moment I forgot I actually did put some of the stuff from Sanctuary away. And I just kept whatever of these posters. These were the Walmart exclusive. I got like a decent amount of them. I'm very happy to got all the Taehyun I got. And for some reason I have a random 4-pocket page. I may need it in the future. That was probably what my thinking for that. But yes, that is my TXT collection. Like I said, I definitely want to be working a little bit more than I have, other than, you know, just trying to keep up with releases this year. So hopefully I can see it grow a little bit more. All right, and now we're moving on to basically my miscellaneous binders, which do have a mix of J-pop and K-pop. So we start with J-pop with the group Kiss My Foot 2. I've been following this group since before they even debuted, years before really, because they debuted in 2011. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just realized I had that light off. My apologies. But yeah, they debuted in 2011. And I became a fan of theirs back in 2007. My favorite member is Senga Kento. So I am trying to collect like all of his, of course, being a Japanese group, they don't do photo cards as a standard thing. And most of this, like these things, no, like all, no, 2 of these, they were like pre-order bonuses if I remember right. This was an exclusive for, yes, their tour. This was also a pre-order for their latest album. And these 5 came in a set as tour merchandise. And this also came, as I said, this is for the For Dear Life concert that I got this, and I got Senga's and my second favorite member, Fujikaya Taisuke. And of course it had units, so I went ahead and got those because I felt since you got 5 cards for each set, it would fill out, you know, 2 pages nicely like this. So very happy with that. And of course they only started this, yeah, like the For Dear Life concert was back in 2023. So very recent that they've started to do trading cards, even though, like I said, they debuted back in 2011. And this is, that was some various things for a release. And I just have an extra 4-pocket page. I was probably thinking about putting more photocard, or not photocards, but photos. Because these kind of photos that you're seeing here, this is kind of like what the standard merch is for a lot of Japanese idols. You buy photos like this, not photo cards like in K-pop. But I have some for Senga and also for Yoko Wataru. This is a miscellaneous card, and then this is a set for a drama series that Fujikaya starred in, and he's the only member of the group, but all these other cast members are part of the same agency, Stardo. Fuma is part of Timeless, which I do have a collection for. I think that's the one. Yeah, we'll be moving to it right after this one. Jesse hadn't debuted, or Kyomoto Taiga. They would eventually debut in the group Stones. And Kishi Yuta, he would debut in King and Prince. But then he's left that group, and now he's a member of Number I with another agency. And then Sakata, he is a member of ABCZ, which is another group under Stardo. So they're all under the same agency. I didn't know where else to put them, so I figured since Fujikaya was the lead, we'll put it here with Kiss My Foot too. And then we move to my Timeless collection. Right now, the group is made out of 3 members, Kikuchi Fuma, Sato Shori, and Matsushima So. And these cards with the little hollow sparkles here, they were a pre-order bonus for their latest single, and since they've rebranded themselves because they did go under another name, but they retired that name and start off with the new name Timeless for 2024. They've had 2 releases, and that's partly because one of the things they decided was that they were going to hold an audition to add new members to the group. The original group was 5 members. 1 member ended up going on a health hiatus and then deciding that, you know, he just didn't want to continue with an entertainment career. So he kind of retired from that. And then another member decided that he wanted to be a solo artist, so he left. So it's just the remaining 3, but they felt like they needed to add more members, and it just all kind of worked out in a way. For me, I've always had a soft spot for so I'm happy that with their releases they do have photo cards now that you get with the releases, and that's what this whole page is. So this is from their first release as Timeless, which was a mini album, and then these are from their single. And this is a set, this is Nakajima Kento, and he was the one that has left to go solo, so he's still with the agency and everything. But he did that because he wants to pursue like more acting work and potentially overseas, and because of that could drag down the rest of the group if he got busy with that. So he felt like it was better to go solo. But yes, I do have a small little collection of like the pre-Timeless era where the name that they were given was Sexy Zone. I hate it.
I hate it so much. Especially since when they debuted, Kento, who is the oldest member, wasn't even 17. It was bad. It was like really, really bad. In fact, it kind of kept me away from the group. Just because it gave me that ick feeling so badly, even though, you know, I had watched them as trainees. Well, these two mostly, because the other three were all kind of pretty fresh and new. But still, yeah. I'm glad they've renamed themselves. Timeless is a much better name. But for their final 4 releases before Kento left, they had pre-order photo sets, and basically you got a full set of cards if you pre-ordered the single or album, whatever it was. This is one of them. The only one that actually comes with a group card. But I'm really glad because, you know, the space in here, and even the color on the back is for like the member that ended up not returning from his medical hiatus. So I always loved the fact that, you know, they were a group that was willing to wait. In fact, so he ended up having to go on a medical hiatus like well before then. And he was gone for almost 2 years, but he ended up actually returning to the group. But they always made sure to like still include him, and to me, I thought that's such like precious thing for the group. The fact that even when they don't have members with them, they still, you know, try to include them in like small little ways like that. And this page is, like I said, there's 4 of these sets in total for their last 4 releases. I plan on getting all of them, so that is what that is. These are random trading cards. Most of this is from around the time they debuted, which is why they all look like little babies, because that's what they were. They were little babies that were given a group name that did not fit them whatsoever and was just yuck. But that's okay. That is now in the past. And now, so after a while, they stopped doing like random trading cards. And what they started doing was putting these cards where they had like special information for like campaigns or for just special bonuses. Of course, they were very limited in the time that you could actually scan them and get something from them. But, you know, on the front, it would have group images. And then eventually, instead of doing group images, they kind of went to just like their logo. And then with Timeless, they've kind of continued that. And at this point, I just want to be ridiculous and have like a whole page of nothing but these Timeless logos, because I can. In this card, I got this randomly. I'm not sure if this is an official card or not, but I decided to keep it. So it's just gonna stay here in the end. And I don't have much in the way of larger inclusions, just these. And more J-pop. This time though, one of the few female idols that I basically just follow her. I've kind of fallen out of the group that she's a part of, Morning Musume. But I still kind of keep tabs, and I at least, like, I'm still collecting her trading cards, which they started to do in 2014. Morning Musume is a group that's been around for like forever. I want to say they debuted in the late 90s. So in 2014, their management had this idea that every year their group name would change to reflect whatever year it is, and that would somehow help make keeping up with the group easier. I'm not sure if it does or not. All I know is it was one of the changes that happened when now with singles, or the first press version of the singles, you get these trading cards. And I'm only missing one now. Just this one from the first single that they started this with. Everything else I have. And if you're wondering why these are, I have like these purple little space savers, I have put them at the end of a year. So this is the last Morning Musume 17 card. This one starts at 18. This ends 18. 19 was a very short year. 20, thankfully, not so bad. And of course, for the cards, each card is for a different version. They do a lot of double and triple A sides. And in doing so, they have no B sides. It's weird. I don't like the direction they've been moving Morning Musume in at all, which I think is part of the reason why I just kind of fell out with the group. But I still love Sakura. And the current leader of the group, which is also the oldest member and the one who's been in the group the longest at the moment, has just announced her graduation, which means when she graduates, Sakura will more than likely become the group leader. I know she's mentioned in the past that, you know, that is one of her goals, because then she becomes the member who has been in the group the longest. But yes, this is from the last release. And I don't think, well, they released an album, but since we have a graduation on the way, they'll definitely have a single before then. But yeah, outside of that one card, that the reason I don't have it is the simple fact that I cannot find it for sale anywhere. I've been doing pretty good with, you know, keeping up on it, so pretty happy with that. All right, now back to K-pop. So I'm not sure if I would call myself a 17 fan. I mean, at least not a big fan. I'm definitely not a carrot. Nothing close to that. But I like to always listen to like the latest thing that came out. And of course, Busaksu, they released their first like single and I fell in love. I love the songs and everything about it. And since it was available to buy in stores, I'm like, hey, why not? Especially since there's so few cards to collect for it. So I did, and I've decided since then to at least collect for these three members. And of course, it also helps the fact that kind of like the more recent 17 music tends to like connect with me a lot more than like their earlier stuff. I don't know why. It just does. I just vibe with it more. So there are definitely 17 songs I like quite a bit. So like I said, I'm a very casual 17 fan, more of a Busaksu fan. But for every release, I try to collect 3 cards each for each member. So that was FML. This is, yeah, Seventh Heaven. And then, what is it? I Am Here? No, is right here. And what is it? Spill the Fills. I have not been working on this as much as I should be. This is definitely one of the things that I am going to need to work on and catch up on, especially soon, because then Hoshi, he's close enough to enlistment that he's probably going to be going in sooner rather than later. So we will see how that goes. I'm not sure if I'll just collect DK and Songkwon. Oh my gosh. Songkwon. Sorry. My voice is still not completely recovered. But I'll figure that out when I get there. If anything, I need to put in the pages for the second Bluesky release. I think I'm just going to collect the album cards for that. And if they have larger inclusions, I'll probably try to see about collecting those too. Because I'm quite happy with what I have. Yeah, if I happen to like grab an inclusion that happens to have a member, I'm keeping it. And the last group in this binder is NCT. I had a very rough year with SM last year. I got very close to just completely dropping all SM groups, but I just can't for NCT Dream. So what I've done instead, and let me find a better page to show this, is I've decided to collect one card per release for my top 3 members, which is Ranjun, Haechan, and Jisung. As you can see, I haven't done a lot of work for it. It is definitely a goal for 2025 to actually put in some work for this collection. I did a little bit at the very end, so it's not as sad as it could have been. But it definitely needs me to actually start collecting these cards. Because I do love NCT Dream and the boys in it, and it's just, SM as a company, I am not thrilled with them at all. They keep failing their artists, and it's so frustrating as a fan to see them do that. Oh, and another goal I have is to finally finish these circle card collections. I decided to just go ahead and collect OT6, because by the time I used to collect a lot more, or try to collect a lot more NCT Dream. And because the circle cards were so cheap, I got like a lot of them. But then when I started downsizing, I realized it's going to be kind of hard to get rid of them. So, you know what? I'll just keep them, especially since they were all done in the era Mark wasn't in the group. So they fit like across 2 of these pages very well. I just need to get the last 2. And I ended up with one of their Dream Escape. Oh, I swear, between Dreamscape and Dream Escape. Anyone who follows NCT Dream understands. But, what do they do? Do they do platform versions? I don't think it's Nemo versions, but whatever. I got one of those without the the random cards. So that gave me like a full set of 7 members plus the group cards. So I decided to just go ahead and keep that. I'm happy with that. And I have these for some reason. I have a feeling this is probably more for the other collections that I've just held on to. Because NCT Dream are still releasing. I do have a cheat page. This is my Runjun cheat page for pops or cards that I just did not want to let go of. And I just could not get myself to let go of. Of course, Runjun is my bias, so he gets his own section. And then I have a page for everyone else. And I love this Chun-Li lenticular card. So I just couldn't let it go. Okay. And one of the things I wanted to do, and I probably will still do, is that I do want to collect a full group set for each group. I have completed my NCT 127 set. This is set up for Wavy. And I haven't really done any setup for Wish. I haven't decided what I wanted for Wish, but they're such a new group. I think I can take my time before deciding. And then I have all these, yeah, all these larger inclusions from releases that I've just hung on to. Just because, for the most part. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be actively collecting much in the way of larger inclusions. I might try for Runjun, but right now I need to focus on the cards and doing some decent catch up with that stuff. And I think I'm just about done. Yes. All right, in my second miscellaneous binder, and we start with Oneness, which is a collection I got back on, but I couldn't fully drop. I really like Xion. Still need to get a card from their debut release for that. Starting with Malice, I decided that I would get 3 cards, pure release. I do need to add another page now that they have a new release that just came out, Dear M. Yes. This is a miscellaneous page. I just didn't want to let go of these cards. So they're just here. And for any larger inclusions. And then my Stacy collection, which right now is basically Teen Fresh for Isa, Seon, and oh my god, yeah, Jay. Hopefully my voice will last long enough to get me through. This is definitely one of my big goals, is to finish up Teen Fresh here. Especially since I'm now completely done with Seon. She is my bias. And I'm so close for Isa. And I'm not too far off for Jay either. Yeah, I'm pretty close in general. I do have some full OT6 sets. I do have some miscellaneous Seon. I'm not sure if I want to go back and back collect her completely. That is something I will decide once I'm done with Team Fresh. And just some larger inclusions that I'm just hanging on to because I can. And then we have the Kingdom, whom I love, and I really hope that we get a comeback announcement soon. I need to work on this. I know I haven't made it a goal, but I will make it a goal now that I at least get one more for this page. I am missing one of Ivan's card. He is going to be the only one that I fully collect for album cards. I just can't find that one, which is kind of frustrating. But I have everything from their latest comeback, and I do want to get more of the unit cards. I think there's at least 3 more that I need to get, and then I'll be done. And then I have a random Ivan Pob, which I do also want to grow. Because that was one of the things I figured that if I'm going to step back and only collect one member, then, you know, I should collect like more Pobs and lucky draws and things like that. Because I really do love this group. And then we have more J-pop. In the coming year, I plan on getting a binder for all these Stardo artists because I love the groups from this company, as you might have noticed. And I think it's come to the point where I have enough, and enough of them are actually starting to release trading cards or something quite similar to trading cards that I can collect in a binder like this, that they should have their own binder. So that's one of my 2025 goals. This page is going to be for a full member set of cards. I need to get, because I don't have it, because I plan on getting the version that they came with for their debut single. I just need to actually get it. Other than that, I do try to collect my top 3. Ohashi Kazuya. Why am I blanking on your name? I want to say it's Takashi. I know this is Onishi Ruichi. Kyohei. That's his first name, Kyohei. I'm definitely getting tired if I can't remember these guys' names. Okay, yeah, and I still need to get his I Wish card. And then I need to also get his Alpha and Koisuru Hikari for both him and Onishi. Which is not hard. The card. One of the things I like about collecting the J-pop groups is, for the vast majority of their cards, it's super cheap, especially when you compare it to like K-pop and some of the K-pop cards. Okay, and we're continuing with J-pop, but a non-Stardo group. This is from the LDH company, which is the same company that has Exile and Psychic Fever. No, it's not Psychic Fever. you know what? I'm just gonna fail with names at this point, so I'm just gonna Psycho Fever, I think. No. I was gonna try to see if this could help me, because they do the Battle of Tokyo, and that was the actual group that Wolf Howl Harmony, that's the name of this group, was partnered with for. But yeah, they're with LDH, is their agency. I really like the group. I really love their vibe. They're also like just incredible vocalists. So they had like almost nothing for Photocard to collect for the longest time, and then they did the Battle of Tokyo, and now there's so much. So that first page is like the sets I have. This page is just me randomly grabbing whatever cards I can find for the members, and when I get like all 4 of them, then I'll move them onto a page. Until then, they'll just be randomly back here. That is my plan going forward, and how I will collect all that. And then, now they are no longer the final group for this binder, but we have Islets. I'm still kind of amazed I became their fan, because I was not looking to. I just decided to watch one of their videos by random and was just completely won over by these girls. They're just such a joy to watch. But I do have everything for Super Real Me collected. And I am working on I'll Like You. And the way I have it set up, this first page is just going to be Yuna. The second page will just be Iroha. Yuna is my bias. Iroha is my second fave. So they're the ones that I'll be like fully collecting. So definitely need to do some work on this, but it's still kind of a newish release, so I'm not too stressed about it, unlike some other releases. And of course, with, I believe it's the Weverse versions that we get like a full set of cards for the girls, and I'm definitely gonna keep that. And then need to get the last of the unit cards, which I believe are just an overseas version thing. But yes, since I got like 3 of them, hopefully it will not be that difficult to get the other 3. And there's not much in the way of larger inclusions that I have in here. And the other group I have is A Group. That is their name, A Group. Another Stardo group. They are the latest to debut from the agency. The group cards here are from their debut single. And then for their second single that they released, again, this is all pretty much pre-order benefits based. And one of the pre-order benefits was a set of all 5. So what is it? Moscato, Suizawa, Richard, Ken, and Sano. I at least got a part of their name right. I need to go back to on Netflix. They have 2 like documentary style series there, just a few episodes each. I need to watch them so I can get them down. I really like their music, so which is why I've jumped into like collecting their cards already. And from what I've seen, I'm definitely liking the guys. Sano and Richard are definitely strong contenders to being favorites. Kind of not surprised, because usually with bands, my favorite member, it tends to either be the drummer or the bassist. And of course, Sano is the drummer. Richard, he does bass, guitar, as well as saxophone. But yes, I do need to get, like, for their second single, they also did another set of like 3 group cards. I need to get that to fill this page. So that is the only thing I have for them. They do have an album coming out, but I'm not sure if that's going to have cards with it. We will see. But again, for them, cards come more as like things you get for a pre-order and not so much in the album itself. So, but yes, I think it's definitely a good idea at this point for me to move all the Stardo artists in their own binder. Because they're basically taking over these miscellaneous binders. So I think that that's a good sign that they need their own. So with that, that's the usual binders I tend to show. And I've decided, since this is going to be a tour of all my binders, I'm going to pull out 2 binders I normally never show off, because they're not really active collections and there's almost no K-pop in them. If you're interested to see what else I collect, then stick around. All right, so for the first binder that I normally do not show, we do have more Stardo. This is for groups that I don't really actively collect for. I just happen to have cards for them for various reasons. Some of them it came with things I purchased, like for news, everything I have for them. Here, let me bring this up. These are the only pages that have any kinds of like cards on them. Everything else is kind of like larger inclusion. And it is very much a complete mix of things. But yeah, let's see. These are flyers for movies that star artists from groups. This is Morimoto Shintaro when he was a tiny little kid. He starred in this movie Snow Prince. Tamamori Yuta from Kiss My Foot 2. He starred in this movie. Chinen Yuri from Heisei Jump starred in this one. And these are just flyers that get printed out and you can pretty much pick them up at, like, I'm not sure if it's just movie theaters, but that is like one of the places that you can like pick them up from when they're doing their promotions for movies. All right, and then, so when I was actually into Morning Musume, I did actually purchase the singles. And because I purchased them, I did pull cards, since I would pre-order them, so I'd get the first press edition. And I just went ahead and kept everything I pulled. So this is all the members I pulled that, of course, are not Oda Sakura, because she has her own collection. Oh, and I do have like a double of her, so that just lives back here. But yeah, as you can tell, around like 2020, I just kind of fell off. And then there are also postcards as like first press release bonuses that I've kept. These are from another group called Kabushi Factory. I really like the group. Unfortunately, they disbanded. Well, not this one. This one is Anjurum. If you know the group Mii, this is the group Momona was a part of. Yes, and there she is. I'm pretty sure that's her. Yeah, when she was younger, she was part of Anjurum. And I have some bonuses for that. Country Girls. I loved this group. I was so ride and die for it. And of course they disbanded. They never had any kind of photo cards except for this one set, which came, well, not even sets, except for these cards that came with a special CD that Hello Project put out with like all the members of all the units that were currently a part of it during their 20th anniversary. So these were the members of Country Girls that were part of the lineup at that time. So I definitely got like the full set of this because they are a precious group to me. And I do have some of their postcards that came as bonuses. And then we have really random cards. This first page is Liark and Shiel. Tetsuya, of course, is the bassist of the group, and this is from his solo, one of his solo releases. This page is for the small handful of cards I have for the group. Kagura, I love them. I love them so much. Unfortunately, they disbanded long ago, and Ishii, he has since passed away. So there's really no hope. And he was the vocalist, and his vocals were just such a distinct core part of the group. It would not, I'm not sure if they could find anyone to really replace him. And I don't think they want to at this point. It's been a long time. But yeah, I mean, if I could find more of their trading cards, I would love to get them. You know, because I still love their music. These were cards for a group called Choose. They were kind of an indie idol group that I really liked. One of their releases happened to have trading cards. I can find almost nothing for this group secondhand, but I'm gonna hang on to what I have. And these are things that came with I know this is Abandoned Boys School, which is the band that Takanori, or Nishikawa Takanori, his band, and I think this was from one of his solo singles as TM Revolution, which of course was an anime tie-in, hence the anime character. And this is just some really random K-pop. I really liked Indigo by RM, so I purchased it. And for the little stuff, I'm not really a BTS fan. I mean, I do like some of their music, definitely, but not enough to really consider myself a fan kind of thing. And like I said, I just kind of vibed with that RM album. And then I have Bang Ya Dum from Treasure. I really liked his solo release. Unfortunately, it seems to have just petered off, and it's like, dude, where are you? I would have loved to hear more from him, but I have a couple cards for him. And then Song Sun for Tribe. I'm worried for Tribe at this point. They've seemed to have just really dropped off the radar. I think I saw something for them recently, but it just seemed like a one-off cover for one of the members, and it's like, what's going on, guys? I really like them as a group, though. And Song Sun was my favorite member, so I decided to just keep the cards I had for her instead of trying to, you know, get rid of them or anything like that. So that is this random binder. And then I have another random binder. And why do I have another random binder? Because this one is a lot less about music artists and a lot more about everything else. Was really into Uta no Prince Sama for a while, and they had a lot of trading cards for their releases. So I have a good amount of those that I'm just kind of hanging on to for right now. I still like the series, I just not as into it as I used to be. Oh. And I got all the albums from Neo Wing for this release. So I got that set. And then we have very random pages where we have these Sailor Moon postcards. Was into Idol 7 for a little while. I actually do have still a soft spot for Love Live. But it's like, I can't figure out where to watch the series. If I could figure out where I could watch it all, I would probably be more into it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a big Marvel MCU fan. So when they did these little card things for the soundtrack, I got them. And as flawed as it is, I did kind of like the live action Little Mermaid, so saw that they were kind of doing the same thing, so I got that. And then this year I decided to go back to my roots, because when I started collecting trading cards, this was the trading cards that I started with. I was a huge comic book fan before I was even an anime fan. And I remember I didn't have the full set, but I had a lot of cards from this 95 Fleer Ultra set for X-Men. So I got like a large lot of it. I also found like some cards that I still had. So I am hoping I can eventually have the full set. It's a low priority, but I would love it just because it is such nostalgia. And again, this is how I started way back when with trading cards, and while it seemed almost inevitable, I would get into them when I realized this was a thing with K-pop. The 90s, they were definitely a time. So yeah, definitely missing large swaths of that. And this is just a random page of various cards that I've kept. And of course, Pogs. I randomly found this X-Men like Pog for sale. I want to say it was on eBay or something. And it's like, I want those because X-Men Pogs. So I got those. These I'm actually really proud of. When Disney's Gargoyles came out, there were Burger King toys. I still have one of them, and I forget if one of them had Pogs or if you kind of got one with each, but whatever the case, I still have 3 of them. I've had them from when I got them way back in the 90s. So, yes, you can even see the Burger King Kids Club. And then we have a lot of random anime cards that I've accrued over time. One of those Japanese movie flyers, but this one for Rogue One. And back here, these are cards that have various damage to them. It may not be easy to see in the pages, but in closer inspection, they all have something that is, I did not feel right with the idea of, you know, trying to sell them or trade them to anyone else. So they just live in the back there. So yes, this will be the last. But yeah, so that is everything. Thank you so much for sticking it through, especially as I've been sick and very audibly so. But again, I am feeling better, so hopefully I'll have this kicked in the next couple of days. But I've been holding off on doing this for so long. I knew I couldn't do it anymore, so I needed to get it done no matter what, before I start getting caught up with new releases. That said, I am hoping that the K-pop store in my area, they will get the second single for Busakso. If they do, I will buy at least the regular versions. I'm not sure with the rest. It seems like a lot. That was the thing I liked about that first single, is that it was very simple, but I think it did have extra versions that I just didn't bother with. So I think I'm fine if I don't bother with the other extra versions. Yes, that's what I'm going to say to myself. And I think it works out because each version, there are 2 sets of regular cards and then I think an ID card, one ID card set for each version. So that would be like 2 pages perfectly. Because that would be, yeah, 9 cards in total for each member for each version. So I think that's the way I'll go. But yes, whenever my store gets them and I have the money for it, I'm definitely gonna be picking up copies and doing unboxing, kickflip. I do want to order those. I don't think I'm going to be able to pre-order them, but I do want to get them ordered as soon as I can this month, so I can go over them this month. Let's see. And I'm trying to do a special video, kind of like kickstart to help me with my collecting for this year. I'm not sure if I'll do it this month. I might have to wait to next month I was hoping to do it in December, not working. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And of course, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I do have a buy haul that will be, well, that's kind of part of why I don't have as much money, because the shipping is going to be kind of pricey, because I did get some big items and some heavy items. But I will have that in hopefully in the next week or so, because it's about hit the limit for storage, so I do need to get that sent out as soon as I can. And hopefully this month I will be on time and do a haul video. Actually, I probably won't even bother with a haul video because I don't really have much coming in. I'll probably just do a storing video for the end of the month. That is my hope. And hopefully I will do it during the month of January, post it in the month of January, and feel like I'm actually on top of things for like a hot second. If you are interested in all that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And until next time, bye.